Clearly a blockbuster both on Wall Street and here in Washington. The SEC announcing these charges against Goldman Sachs and also against a Goldman Sachs Vice President, Fabrice Touré. The crux of the case here in accusing the company of fraud in marketing its CDOs. What the SEC is saying, Lori, is that as it sold these CDOs, marketed these CDOs to investors, it failed to share with those potential investors that the selection process for the underlying portfolio would also include the Paulson hedge fund. John Paulson, the legendary hedge fund manager on Wall Street. His firm was participating in the selection of those, the portfolio, and at the same time was shorting that portfolio. Had investors known that that was the case, at least the complaint suggests from the SEC, they would not have invested in these CDOs or certainly would have thought twice about it. It is that conflict of interest, again, the disclosure question here that is the central focus of the case. And the head of the SEC's enforcement unit, Robert Khuzami, he talked about it a short time on a conference call. Let's listen to some of what he had to say.
Undisclosed in the marketing materials was that a large hedge fund, Paulson and Company, played a significant role in the portfolio selection process and had an economic incentive to choose what it viewed as the poorest quality BBB rated mortgage securities.
Now, the company has been charged again. It's a civil suit at this point. No criminal charges yet. Robert Khuzami was asked on the conference call, has this case been referred to the Justice Department? He would not respond to that. He did say that Paulson has not been charged because the wrongdoing here in the eyes of the SEC was on Goldman's part for not disclosing to its investors. Does that mean Paulson is out of the woods? Obviously, we do not know that fully at this point, but this is simply the charges right now against Goldman Sachs, and they are a very big story here in Washington, Lori, and will continue to be through the course of the day. We saw the sell-off on Wall Street after this news was announced. We have now received a statement from Goldman Sachs saying it will fight these charges and will try and restore its reputation and its good name. And so Goldman planning to take on the SEC over this case. This is a very, very big deal on Wall Street and here in Washington.